Will you all please rise and join Tom Chesney as he leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now let's do our four-way test. Of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. If you are a visiting Rotarian or a Rotarian who has a guest, will you remain standing? And all others can be seated. We'll start right over here with Cinda.
So look into the camera here. So I'm very pleased today. One of my guests is the speaker, which you will meet later. I'm not sure where she is, Sahana Dharmapuri. And then also working with our Secure Future is Lexi Van Buskirk. And Tim Schomer is also part of One Earth Future. And Tara Dillon is part of our Secure Future, Women Make the Difference.
Thank you.
My guests are Susan Wavy, Jennifer Zaccone, and Claire. Susan is the wife of our former Rotarian Jim Wavy, and she's here because of the presentation of the Peace Award. So welcome Susan and Jennifer and Claire.
Yes, tomorrow is International Peace Day, but today's Jim Schwabe Peace Award will be given. And we have a friend of Jim's who's with the Lodo Denver Rotary Club, Charlie Hunt. Charlie is also a returned Peace Corps volunteer. Charlie.
Hi, this is Rich Beaver. He's new to town, retired clinical psychologist, and checking out Rotary clubs. So, thank you very much.
I'm very pleased to present to the club two seniors from Fairview High School. I'm going to ask them to say a little bit about themselves, their hopes for the future, and maybe what they're doing in their classes now.
I'm Jake Hofgaard. I'm a senior at Fairview High School, and right now I'm in the middle of the college application process, just trying to figure out where I'll be going next year. I know that I'll be going to college, just the thing that I have to determine right now is where, and I'm also in the International Baccalaureate program at Fairview, which is a unique global education oriented program that Fairview High School has. And that's been a really great opportunity that I've had over the course of the 4 years that I've been at Fairview.
Hi, my name is Beatrice Sanchez. I am the senior class vice president. I too am in the college application season. I am hopefully going to go into social work, just still don't know when or where. And I work alongside CU, alongside some really cool psychologists developing Mind Body Voice project, which is now at Fairview. And yeah, I'm just really happy to be here.
Good afternoon. My guest today is Kim White. If you guys remember, he is the co-founder of Some Bow Ties and visited the club almost a year ago, promoting his social enterprise. He's visiting again to say thank you to everyone who made purchases last year and share stories about business in Zimbabwe, and he'll be heading back home next week.
When are the ties coming back?
Online,
They're
right?
online,
Yeah, you can get them online. Yes. Thank you.
It's my privilege and delight to introduce to you once again my dentist. and he's Peter Jepsen, and he came to us from Arkansas, and he was born in Wyoming, so he's a real Westerner. And also, I noticed right away that he's cut from rotary fabric by nature, and I want him to join us.
All right.
I'm pleased to introduce for the third time Jamie McCoppin. Janie is celebrated her 1-month anniversary working with me, which shows that she has significant tolerance. And as I said last time, she's a lifetime Rotarian who just never belonged to a Rotary Club, and we have fixed that problem now. So her proposal is before the board.
My guest today is our new representative for the Boy Scouts of America, Mr. James Williamson. He's an Eagle Scout. He's a native Coloradoan from Aurora, moved away for a while but woke up, went to CU, remembered, hey, Colorado's the best place to be. So he's here joining us today. Please welcome him.
We welcome all of our guests and hope that you can return. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tom. Let's see, we have a few announcements. We have a lot of announcements, but we'll start with we're still auctioning off tickets for the CU home games. The next one is against the University of Arizona on October 5th, so you still have 2 weeks to come up with that winning bid, but don't delay. We also had an evening out on September 11th at the Coors Field, Colorado Rockies. Judy Harriet would like to share a few words.
I'm going to be getting us tickets, and they are free tickets. It's not a fundraiser, free tickets for nonprofits for hopefully every winning season of the Rockies from now on, so starting next April. We had a great time. We did win. Every game I go to, we win. So, yeah, okay. Yeah. So next season, we will make the announcements again, and the Rockies do have one prerequisite, they say. That we need to use 70% of the tickets they give us, or they won't be giving us the tickets, or as many tickets. So when this comes up, I hope you all come along and we'll have a fun evening together.
Yeah, there were about 20 of us there on the 11th. Okay, next up, Juliet Harrington has an announcement about you tell them, Juliet.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'd like to tell you about the World Community Service Committee is engaged at the moment with the Denver Indian Club. They are holding a festival this coming Saturday, which is September 28 and Sunday, September 29. From 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday, noon to 6 p.m. Sunday. You're all invited to attend, and we could also do with some volunteers. This is going to be a united festival explaining and just welcoming to knowledge to everyone about our Indigenous peoples from many different chapters and reservations. And we're also doing a coat, hat, gloves, and mitten drive, so please bring any of these items next Friday to our meeting, and I will collect them and take them down to Denver. On your table is one of these that will show where the event is being held. We could also have some volunteers for our tent that we've been supplied to just let people know who we are, Boulder Rotary Club, and what we're doing, and we welcome you to join us for that. Come and talk to myself, Alessandro, or Lynn, and we will set you up for those volunteering positions. But otherwise, please attend for your Christmas shopping and just to show support for our Indigenous community. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael McHale's going to give us a wrap-up report on the Day of Caring last Friday.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, last Friday was the 25th annual Day of Caring, and I'm pleased to announce that we had a 20% increase in participation from our club. We had over 60 volunteers working at 6 different nonprofits who provided over 240 hours of service back to our community. So great job, everyone. Thank you so much for participating.
Thank you, Michael. And thank you to everyone who painted Christmas ornaments, mowed mulch, sorted clothes. I'm not sure. I know there were 8 different activities, but let's see. If you still don't have anything to do tomorrow morning, you can go to the club training workshop at Front Range Community College in Westminster. I went last year. Mike Brady's going to be there, so if you want more details about it, come see me after the meeting. Also, for the International Public Lands Day, there is a cleanup at Coot Lake next Saturday, September 28th. The details are in the rib, or you can contact Kathy Olivier. Now we have some new members of our club that we want to induct, and so would Jonathan Singer, Gary Kahn, Jill Drury, Stu Drury, and Sally Brown. Please come up to the stage. Come on up. Hi, John. See you.
Well, it is truly an honor to be able to sponsor and introduce to you as our newest member, Representative Jonathan Singer. Jonathan is a state representative for House District 11 in Longmont, Northern Boulder County. He's chairman of the Public Health Care and Human Services Committee. Representative Singer is the leading architect of the regulatory framework established for recreational marijuana, which was approved by the Colorado voters in 2012. This framework directed tens of millions of new marijuana tax revenue to mental health and schools. Jonathan has also spent his legislative career advocating for youth, elders, and people with disabilities. He's helped revolutionize our child welfare system to ensure that children remain safe and can maintain contact with their families. He's always been a champion for all Coloradans, but during his legislative term, many of them from his district lost a lot of property and their livelihoods in the catastrophic Front Range floods of 2013, and he advocated for on their behalf. And you'll understand some of this legislative trajectory when you hear that his bachelor's and master's degrees were both in social work from the Colorado State University. So he's been a volunteer in the community for most of his life, both in Boulder and Longmont, including before and after school programs at the YMCA. In fact, he met his wife Allison while volunteering at the Boulder Public Library, where they were both still at Fairview High School. And when our own Willie was his civics teacher at Fairview, and which also explains how he got to be such a productive and legislator.
And my sense of humor.
And he says he also gets his sense of humor from Willie Canary. So he and his wife now live in Longmont with their 2 adorable young children, Gwendolyn and William. Now, Jonathan is term limited at the State House, and he will be running for Boulder County Commissioner in 2020. He was not yet an official Rotarian. For years now, Jonathan has kept a paperweight in front of him on his desk with the Rotary four-way test on it. So if you want to learn more about Jonathan and his background, you're encouraged to visit his My Story tab on his website. And when you do this, you will see, especially if you take the time to get to know him a little bit, that our newest member is not only an incredible human being and a public servant, but a man who, as much as anybody in this room, exemplifies Rotary's credo of service above self. Please welcome Representative Jonathan Singer.
Welcome. All right, our next induction is, should I say the better half or just one of the better halves of the Drurys?
That's right. Today we are here to welcome Team Drury, and this is Jill Drury, and she's a retired federal government executive. She began her service career as an economist with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. After conducting economic analysis for military construction and base closure projects for more than a decade, she transferred to the Legacy Immigration and Naturalization Service. When the Department of Homeland Security was created, Jill was selected to be the Director of International Students and Exchange Visitor Program. She subsequently moved to Brussels, Belgium, to be the first Transportation Security Liaison to Australia, New Zealand, and the South Pacific. Before retiring, Jill was the Director for International Operations at the Transportation Security Administration. Jill has a BA in Economics from the University of Maryland and a Master of Public Policy from Georgetown. She's a passionate horse lover, ballet dancer, and dog owner. She and her dog, Bo, were recently certified by the Alliance of Therapy Dogs. Jill and her husband, Stuart, are currently working to develop a website called Donations Make a Difference to identify needed items and inspire global travelers to donate and make a difference locally. Welcome, Jill.
All right. Next up, Stu Drury, and Alessandro will do the introduction.
Dear Rotarians, dear guests, it's a big pleasure presenting to you our new member, Stuart Drury. You can also speak in German with him, so soon we can open an exchange language committee as well. Stu is a retired federal civil servant and retired Army Reserve officer. When Stu was 4, his father took a job as a civilian with the US Army in Europe. Stu attended Defense Department schools in Germany from kindergarten through 12th grade. After graduating from the US Military Academy at West Point, Stu spent 11 years as an active duty Army officer, then became a reservist and Defense Department civilian. He worked for the Army in Europe before being transferred to the Pentagon, where he met his wife Jill. After a brief stint with the Legacy Immigration and Naturalization Service, Stu served on the Joint Staff, attended the National War College, and worked at the US mission to NATO in Brussels. He also served as Deputy Director for NATO Policy in the Office of the Secretary of Defense. Stu took early retirement in 2008, so he could accompany his wife Jill to Sydney, Australia, for her job with the Department of Homeland Security. In addition to an undergraduate degree from West Point, Stu has graduate degrees from the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard and from the National War College. He's a recovering runner, avid skier, occasional mountaineer, aspiring cyclist, and enthusiastic reader, and an ideal profile for becoming a successful Rotarian who showed interest in a short time in several of our committees. Please welcome our new member, Stu Drury.
All right. If you've been paying attention, or even if you haven't, you know tomorrow is International Day of Peace, as declared by the UN. In addition to the event that our club is involved in at 4:30 tomorrow at the Boulder Public Library, we are recognizing the inaugural winner of the Jim Swaby Peace Award. Sam Pottinger will fill us in.
All right, what an honor, what a day. This is the day the Lord has made. Hey, let us rejoice. The Rotary Club this afternoon will present the first annual Jim Swaby Peace Award, recognizing a person of outstanding achievement consistent with the ideals of Rotary, the advancement of understanding, goodwill, and peace. Indeed, all Rotary programs are pathways to peace. The award commemorates the contribution of Boulder Rotarian Jim Swaby, who gave of his time, talent, passion, and humor to build a better world. Jim was a returned Peace Corps volunteer and businessman who gave to the community in many, many ways. Looks like we have someone standing up over there. I'll go right to it. The Rotary Club of Boulder, in honor and with deep appreciation to the ideals of peace, present the 2019 Jim Swaby Peace Award to Dorothy Jensen Rupert. Dorothy's an extraordinary person with over 70 years of service. She was a city council member for the city of Thornton, a high school teacher and counselor for 35 years, 8 years in the state house as a House of Representative and 6 years as senator. Very active. She's worked tirelessly on behalf of scores of Colorado nonprofit organizations and a lifetime member of the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom. She taught at the University of Colorado a course entitled Civic Engagement, Using Democracy as a Tool for Social Change. Dorothy has consistently walked her talk of an active civic organizer. Dorothy, it is with great honor that I present to you a certificate with deep appreciation for your commitment to the ideals of peace. And with that comes a check for $1,000 that she can donate to her nonprofit of choice. Dorothy, you got 31 seconds.
You can guess how I'm feeling right now. I graduated from high school on June the 6th, 1944. That was what? D-Day. And I've been thinking what I wanted to say about Johnny Stout. And Johnny Stout was in my class of 1944 at Fremont High School. And the fall of our senior year, he turned to me in history class and he said, "I can't take this anymore, I'm leaving." I said, "Johnny, what?" And he said, "My parents gave me permission to go to war." And he was sent immediately to Iwo Jima, where he was killed. And I thought about him and thought about many, 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 many students through the years. And I have no way of really telling you right now how much this organization right here means to me. We are the largest humanitarian organization in the world. And I know my voice is shaking right now. But you mean so much to me. And this means everything. Jim Swaby was head boy just before I went to Fairview. And I sponsored council for about 17 years after Jim. And Jim was always the model we used. Everyone seemed to know about Jim forever and ever. So I can't tell you truly how much. I know so many of you deserve this and a lot more, but it means so much to me. And I'll go ahead and turn 93 and, with your blessing, continue walking. Thank you.
On your table is the handout that tells you a lot more about Jim and Dorothy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sam, and congratulations, Dorothy. Get out your raffle tickets. I'm about to call out the winning number. And it is 2252894. No? Oh. You need to scream something out. You don't have to come up here. You can get your check after the meeting. It's Alessandro. He's too quiet a winner. All right. Celebrating August birthdays. I see we have a couple of August birthdays. Tom Chesney, will you do a doubleheader today and do the honors?
Sure, I can't step into George Russell's shoes and sing a song. Because I sing great, I just can't change notes. We have Captain Al McLaren here, and we're going to turn the mic over to him for his thoughts.
Thank you very much. I just passed my 87th birthday a month ago, and I've decided I've got to start coming back to Rotary because as a Cambridge graduate, there's an Oxford graduate among your midst here, Doc Evans, who's threatening my attendance record. So it's been a mixed year. I think as some of you know, up till the December of 2015, I was a deep sea submersible pilot, even though I was 83 then, with dives to Titanic, the first dives to the German battleship Bismarck and all that. And then I had 2 straight hip operations. And this year I thought I was going to get back into the game. And son of a gun, I had to have my right shoulder completely replaced. So set back a little bit. But other than that, it's been a good year. My 3rd book is now at the publisher, the U.S. Naval Institute. It tells about my 4 years of command of the attack submarine, the USS Queenfish, during the Vietnam and the Cold War. And in this case, it tells about my Cold War missions in considerable detail, and I'm sure they're wrestling around with how are we going to handle this hot potato right now, but I'm going to let them solve the classification problem. And I've also gotten a professional journal article off mid-year with the Journal of Molecular Biology published by the Swedish Academy of Sciences. So my wife has been at me, and I'm looking for that day of peace tomorrow. I'll have to remind her that it's coming up. I'll leave you with the kind of screwy questions you get as you get older. And I think I'd been 87 about a week, and a neighbor who was doing some estate planning wanted to know if we were doing ours, and we said, sure. And her question was, well, what's your favorite crematorium? Well, you know, that really stunned me. Does anybody here have a favorite crematorium? It's not something you ordinarily think of. So I look more and more to dumb questions like that as we become older. And in some cases, people think we're a little irrelevant. And I'll say hell no to that.
Before we pass the microphone to Willie, I want to recognize Susan Wavy. I worked with her husband, Jim, for a number of years, and he's a terrific fellow. And one of the filters I've used throughout my life is to say, is this the kind of person I would be proud to have my son or daughter grow up and be like? And without hesitation, I can say Jim fit that bill. So welcome, Susan. We'll turn our attention now to Willie Nerum.
This week I learned a new word, logorrhea, which means uncontrollable talkativeness. Mark Twain said, thunder is good. Thunder is impressive, but it's lightning that does the work. And so I was thinking that it is such a pleasure to work with lightning people and to enjoy you. Thank you, Rotary.
Happy birthday, gentlemen. Normally at this time, we'd have a video, but instead we have this. And I'll take a hard look at that, and I think you'll come to appreciate Daryl and Sally Brown a lot more and what they do for us each week. Thank you to you guys, even when you don't do the video. And a double thank you to Daryl for being our past president greeter. Sort of, part-time past president greeter. Our red badge greeters today were Jill and Stu Drury, who had the guts to be red badge greeters, even though they didn't have their red badges yet. So we have to commend them on that. Member and guest registration, Sue Lounsbury, Judy Pitt, Margie Sullivan. Raffle lady, Lindsay Sachs and her helper. Yes, I remembered. And our audio-visual crew, Fred Hull, Bob Taylor, Lynn Johnson, and Bill Moore. And I just want to, on a personal note, thank Sahana again for a really enlightening perspective on peacemaking, and I wish you success in the future. Thank you. Have a great weekend.